Hey everyone, this is how to wax at home, and this is a long-awaited tutorial, so I'm going to be sharing a lot of information today. I really hope you guys are excited. Let's get right into it. When it comes to waxing at home, you have two different options. You could buy wax strips that are pre-made from the drugstore, or you could buy a wax kit. Now, pre-made ones are very simple and easy to use because they have instructions, but they're very expensive because you're going to have to repurchase these again and again. If you plan on waxing often, I recommend using a wax kit. This is so much more cost effective, more precise, and it's easier to use for me. I'm going to be showing you all my tips and tricks, so it's going to be a lot easier for you as well. So here are the things you can find at any beauty supply store. First, you're going to need an applicator tool. If you're going to be waxing the body, I really like these larger applicators because they apply the wax to a large area of the skin. Whereas if you want to wax your eyebrows or upper lip, you can use something a little bit more precise, so these skinny popsicle sticks work perfect for that. Once the wax is on the skin, you need something to place over top so that you can pull off the wax and the hair. I'm going to be using muslin paper. This whole roll was very inexpensive, and we're going to be cutting it to size with each use depending on what area we're waxing. So let's turn the wax warmer on and wait for this to heat up. You always want to prep the skin before you start waxing, and I'm going to be waxing my arms, which I've waited a really long time so that you guys could see the hairs really clearly on camera. Now this is a little bit longer than the hair needs to be, but you want to make sure it's at least half an inch or 3/4 of an inch before you start waxing. You always want to apply the wax in the direction of the hair growth. Don't go side to side, and certainly don't go against the grain of the hair. This is going to make the hair snap off and you're not going to get a clean result. Before you start waxing, take note of the direction of hair growth as well as any moles or pimples or abrasions because you won't want to apply wax on those parts. The day that you plan to wax, you can exfoliate your skin either the night before or the day of. You also want to make sure your skin is oil and lotion free, so I'm going to be applying a toner and then using a baby wipe to remove any of the oil that's on my skin. Once the skin is clean and dry, you can use any powder, whether it's cornstarch or a makeup powder like I'm using, and mattify the skin. This is going to make sure that the wax only sticks to the hair and it doesn't stick to your skin, resulting in like a burn or a really painful experience. Okay, let's check on the wax. This looks a little bit too hot. If it looks watery like this and you dip your stick in and it seems very liquidy, that means it's too hot. So it's time to turn off the wax warmer, wait for it to cool down, and while we do that, let's cut some muslin squares the size of the area we're going to be waxing. So this wax is looking a lot better. You want it to have that syrup consistency, something that's really thick and creamy, not too watery, and that's how you know it's going to be warm, not hot. Now that the skin is ready, the wax is ready, I'm going to show you what it should look like when you take out the wax from the actual pot, which was always really difficult for me when I first started. Once you've dipped the stick in, you want to wipe off the side, wipe off the back, and then off the other side, leaving only a really thin amount of wax on the very top of the applicator. The back should be completely clean as well as the sides, and that's going to kind of house the wax on the top of the applicator so it doesn't drip when you're transferring it to your skin. You always want to apply the wax really thin, so that starts with having a really thin layer on your stick, and once you've applied it, you can smooth out any areas that look a little bit bumpy, so that's what I'm going to do here until it looks as even as possible. More is not more with wax. If you apply a really thick layer, you're going to notice not only when you go to rip it does the wax not come off, it tugs at the skin, so it's really painful. So once your wax is applied, you can take one of your little pre-cut muslin squares and press it over top. You want to make sure that it's really smoothly pressed down before you rip. So when you rip the wax off, you want to make sure that you do it really quickly. This is going to make sure that all the hair comes off and you don't tug at the skin. To relieve the pain or discomfort, you can press on the area immediately after waxing, and that's going to make it a little more comfortable. If you find that you're having difficulty ripping the wax off, you've put it on your skin and now you're just procrastinating doing the actual ripping, I recommend doing a 1-2-3 method. So you put the muslin over top of your skin, count 1, 2, 3, and then rip. This just creates a little bit of conscious accountability so that your mind knows on the 3, I'm going to have to rip. So these techniques are universal to anyone, male or female, and any area of the body. However, of course, each area of the body poses different problems when it comes to waxing. So if you want to see a separate video done explaining in detail a specific part of the body, let me know which one, and also give this a thumbs up and I'll do a separate video. So it's super satisfying looking at this little strip with all the hairs on it. You're probably going to want to do that anyways, but always check to make sure you've removed the root of the hair. That's how you know you've removed the hair for long term, and by long term I mean like a month. You never want to apply wax more than one time to the same area of the skin, so if you miss a little bit of hair, you can apply a really precise amount over top of the tiny patch, but if you've already applied wax there and it's just the way that you ripped the hair off that didn't get all of the hairs, work on your technique and just wait until next time. You can use a razor to smooth it out for now. Okay, the arm is all done. It's very smooth, but it is a little bit red and it's a little bit sticky because there are remnants of wax. So I'm using some oil. This is camellia seed, and I'm going to be rubbing this into the skin, which is going to break down the wax. Let the oil sit there for about 30 seconds and then take a baby wipe and wipe it off. You'll notice that the arm is probably pretty red from all of this wiping, so you want to apply some aloe vera gel to soothe the skin, and it's going to feel really cooling as well as bring down the redness. So there's my in-depth waxing tutorial. I hope you guys have all the techniques and knowledge that you need in order to remove hair at home without having to go to the salon. If you have any waxing questions, leave them below and I will be answering them for you guys. I love you so much. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you later. Bye.